In this video, we're looking at the latest banner schedule from 6.4 to 6.7, what the current roadmap suggests, where each character lands, and what we can realistically say right now about their expected roles and kit direction. This isn't going to be one of those, here are the names, okay, by recaps. The goal is to map out which patch each character is tied to, how the timing between releases is spaced, what kinds of units these look like they're becoming, and why the release order actually changes how people plan their pulls. A new updated lineup recently dropped, and it shifted the conversation hard. A couple placements changed, some earlier contradictions finally got cleaned up, and once you lay everything out patch by patch, the whole sequence starts to feel structured on purpose, not random. So let's start at version 6.4, because that's where this stretch of banners really kicks off. From everything we've seen, 6.4 is built around Varka, and he's positioned as the next limited 5-star coming right after Columbina's 6.3 run. Everything we've got right now points to Varka being an on-field carry, the kind of unit that wants long, continuous uptime, not quick swap rotations. The way his kit is being described, his damage comes from 2 layers at once. A baseline damage type and an infused element that triggers according to a set priority system. We still don't have the exact priority list, and we don't know the precise split between those 2 sources. But the important part is this: both components matter, and they're both baked into his main damage plan. This isn't extra flavor, it's the core. He's also tagged as a Hexrai character, which comes with a team restriction. You'll need at least one other Hexrai unit alongside him. Beyond that, the leaks don't spell out deeper synergy yet, just the requirement. Where things get more defined is how his team structure directly boosts his output. The kit revolves around stacking personal buffs based on who you bring. If your party includes 2 Anemo characters, he earns 1 damage stack. If you also have 2 characters sharing the same element, from Pyro, Hydro, Electro, or Cryo, that unlocks a 2nd stack. And these aren't small bonuses. The stacks are described as major damage increases, meaning Varka's ceiling is basically tied to whether you build the team the way he wants. Mechanically, his combat loop also seems very carry-coded. His skill and normal attacks feed into each other. After you cast a skill, your normal attacks accelerate the cooldown of an upgraded version of that skill. So the more you stay in and keep swinging, the faster you cycle back into a stronger state. It's a self-reinforcing loop. Field time, faster upgrades, more field time value. Net result: Varka looks built for sustained uptime, team condition scaling, and repeat access to an enhanced skill, rather than short burst windows or heavy reliance on reaction gimmicks. Now, one more important update. We've also gotten clarification that Dornman port is not opening in 6.4. That matters because earlier speculation tied Varka's release to a Mondstadt expansion drop. With that assumption gone, it suggests Varka's banner isn't chained to a new region launch. We've seen Hoyoverse do this before: release the character first, and let the region or sub-region show up later. So 6.4, at least based on what we know, looks more like a banner plus gameplay patch than an exploration-heavy one. After that, we roll into 6.5, and this is the patch where the roadmap got reshuffled the most. Right now, 6.5 is being framed around Lana as the only new character. A lot of the confusion here comes from the Snow Maiden name that was floating around earlier. The clearest takeaway now is that Snow Maiden and Lana are the same person, not 2 separate characters. It was a naming mix-up that spiraled. And Lana isn't completely out of nowhere. She's already referenced in-game through voice lines. She's connected to Nodcry, and she's described as an Adventurers Guild advisor with a focus on life sciences. The way characters talk about her paints a consistent vibe: well-traveled, highly informed, and picky about what she chooses to get involved in. Her name also looks like a deliberate reference to Carl Linnaeus, which fits the picture we're getting. Lana isn't being framed as a warrior-first character. She's more like a researcher type, someone tied to studying and classifying life, not just fighting for the sake of it. That explains 2 things at once: why a lot of players didn't recognize her immediately, and why she still makes perfect sense as a patch centerpiece once you know where she's coming from. Now, when it comes to Lana's kit, we're still operating with limited information. But the few consistent points all push in the same direction. She doesn't sound like an on-field DPS. Everything about her role and framing suggests support or utility, the kind of unit that adds value through buffs, enabling reactions, or providing off-field effects instead of being the one doing the big numbers on screen. And that's the interesting part. If 6.5 is truly centered entirely around Lana, then she's almost certainly not a throwaway addition. The structure points to a limited 5-star design to carry the patch, not a filler release. Then we hit version 6.6, and the roadmap shifts again. 6.6 is being linked to Nicole as the featured unit, with Lohan arriving alongside her as a standard banner addition. Nicole is clearly being treated as the headliner here. Most of the discussion around her frames her as a premium support, not a main carry, and honestly, that placement makes sense. A lot of cycles go. Introduce a major on-field unit, then follow up with characters that upgrade team value and account strength. If Nicole is the limited unit in 6.6, expectations are that she brings broad utility, not some niche only works with one-person design. That's also why people are already planning around her early. Supports like that tend to age well. Lohan's situation is the opposite. He bounced around earlier roadmaps so much that people turned it into a meme, but once you factor in that he's standard, the chaos becomes logical. Standard characters aren't meant to define a patch. They're built to be generally usable and eventually obtainable in multiple ways over time. So his release timing is less make or break, and more add to the pool. That's also why his placement moved the most. Shifting a standard unit doesn't disrupt the patch identity the way shifting a limited headliner does. Finally, we get to version 6.7, and that's where Sandrone sits, and her placement is basically the most locked-in part of the entire roadmap. Almost nobody is arguing about whether she's in 6.7. The only real complaint is how long it feels to wait, which is usually a sign that people believe she's real and she's coming. And based on how she's being positioned, Sandrone looks like the payoff character at the end of the stretch. Whether that payoff is raw damage, unique mechanics, or a standout role, she's being treated as the big release that closes the cycle. Hoyoverse does this a lot. Save the most anticipated or most unusual character for later, once the audience is already invested in the region systems. You can see it in how people are planning. A lot of players are already treating 6.7 as the finish line for saving, and that alone tells you how much weight Sandrone carries on this roadmap. So when you zoom out and look at 6.4 through 6.7, the pacing starts to look intentional. 6.4 opens with Varka as a sustained on-field carry. 6.5 follows with a single character patch built around Lana, likely utility-focused. 6.6 reinforces accounts with Nicole as a high-value support, while Lohan expands the standard pool. 6.7 closes with Sandrone as the high-expectation finale. That's why the community mood has shifted from "this is a mess" to "okay, I can plan around this." Once the Snow Maiden naming confusion got cleaned up and Lohan's standard status became clearer, the roadmap stopped feeling random and started feeling structured. That's where things stand right now. Details can still change as new information drops, but the shape of the schedule is way clearer than it was before. If you want continued updates like this, where we don't just repeat rumors, we organize them into a timeline that actually makes sense, subscribe, and I'll keep covering it as new info comes out.